So, what are we going to talk about? I don't know. I mean, nothing really happened.
That was such a boring game.
So
I'm so just like, I don't even know what
it's a very nice shirt. You're both very well dressed. No, I actually, if I was going to describe this game in 3 words, I was going to say, "Oh my God."
Becky.
The game is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I have no idea how the Steelers won that game.
With field goal.
It's funny. It's funny how sports teams make you feel, because when they tied the game at the end of regulation, and I figured, and I was watching it somewhere, and I just left. I was like, I can't take this anymore. Like we're about to lose 21-20.
Yeah.
This sucks. I hate this game. I hate everything. I'm just gonna go in my doomsday bunker, and that's it. And then the kick got blocked.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, we're going to overtime. And it's just insanity. That was one of the most insane games I've ever seen. Why is it always?
I tried to think of a crazier game and I can't. No.
The only other crazier game was against the Bengals in that playoff game. What I call the Jerry Porter game, where Jerry Porter came on the field and they freaked out, and they that was also the game where they obliterated. I believe they perfect obliterated Antonio Brown.
Right. Yeah.
And,
right. Yeah.
And,
it was.
And Ben got hurt. Ben got hurt, and there was a fumble. Shazier caused a fumble.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was the only other game that was more insane than this one, but
right. And it was against the Bengals, so it's like
against the Bengals, bring out the best in each other.
Absolute insanity.
Yeah, I think that, I'll be honest, like you just said, I don't know how he won that game. The refs, I'll be honest, gave it to us because obviously the defense played well, but that Jamar Chase, that was a fucking touchdown. That was a freaking touchdown.
It was a touchdown. It was a touchdown. Yeah. However,
they didn't challenge it, so
they didn't challenge it. The Cincinnati coach, obviously he just went to the Super Bowl, so he's going to be there. But he's an idiot. At least from what I could see from this game. First of all, you have an offensive line that hasn't really been together, and you do nothing. You think it's a good idea to have an offensive line go up against Cam Hayward and TJ Watt and that defense and that defense and not give them any help.
Right.
That's ridiculous. The Steelers knew that their offensive line sucked, so they brought in like fullbacks and tight ends to chip in to help the offensive line.
Yep.
But there was no help from anywhere. There were time management issues from Cincinnati. I'm not impressed with Zach Taylor. That was it was a poor job. And you're right. That was okay. Game. So that was a touchdown that the refs screwed up, but the refs also gave the Bengals a lot of just
that whole game was so poorly officiated. Sometimes I think you poorly officiated it for both teams, so it kind of evens out. But other than that touchdown, which I understand is big, I felt like it was like bad call after bad call after bad call. I mean, you felt like you're trying to beat 2 different teams between the refs and the Bengals.
Yeah, that's how I felt, and that's just I mean, that's unfortunately that's all sports. That's not all sports. That's definitely football. That's just you're going to get poor officiating, and you just hope that it evens out, and it's sad and pathetic. And we should have technology to help with that, but whatever.
But as a team too, I always get frustrated with the team, because as a team too, you have to find a way to compensate for that. So if you know that they're being really strict about holding penalties or DPI or whatever it is, you have to make sure that you're being extra careful to not draw their attention. You know what I mean? Players can sense, how the refs are reffing the game and whether they can get away with something or not.
Right.
So it's frustrating when you feel like they just keep making mistakes too. And some really critical ones.
But just one of the best defensive efforts I've ever seen the Steelers make.
Amazing.
Complete domination at times.
Yeah.
From
everybody. And it wasn't just one person. I mean, it wasn't just Minka.
Yeah, no.
It was everybody played a part in that defensive win, essentially. I mean, it was just amazing.
Minka obviously was awesome with the pick six, the blocked extra point. TJ obviously was awesome. He just dominated. Alex Highsmith
was amazing.
Career game for him.
Yeah, amazing. Best game of his career.
A lot of people said, hey, Alex Highsmith, he's going to have a good year. So he looks like he's really progressed. Now, we'll see what happens.
Right.
Yeah, it's
now that TJ Watt's not there.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that. But my goodness, when this defensive and I think Larry Ogunjobi also helped a lot.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Gosh, I mean,
and Devin Bush really rose to the occasion. I thought he looked much better. Do you know what I mean? Even some of the big defensive plays that weren't his per se, he was there providing the pressure that was needed for other people to be able to make plays. I thought he looked really good. I had to eat my hat a little bit because I didn't think he was gonna. From what we saw preseason, it didn't look like he was gonna do anything.
What I feel like he was part of a big pressure that caused one of the interceptions, wasn't he?
He was involved. He was involved.
Yeah.
And, it looked like in training camp or preseason that he would just be the guy that would basically be the weak link of the defense.
Yeah.
And that's all you need is one weak link and you're screwed. And, I wrote, questions going into the game. Will Devin Bush care? Because it looked like he didn't even care, and apparently, what I guess it's evidence now of what he was doing was just saying, "Well, this is my contract year. I'm not gonna kill myself in training camp or preseason. I'll go out when it counts, and I'll get my stats and I'll do what I need to do. But I'm not hurt. I'm not putting forth the effort when it doesn't count. So okay, dude, if that's what you're gonna do, fine. If you're gonna ball out during the regular season. Good for
ball
you.
Out.
Ball out. Go. Yeah. So
I don't love that attitude, but
Come
and play. Yeah.
That's it's the quote unquote business decision. I thought it was odd that Spillane, when he was healthy, was the dime linebacker. Like, what are you?
Very strange. I don't know that I want to see that for the whole season.
No. I don't either.
Miles Jack looked awesome.
Amazing.
He did.
The secondary looked awesome. Too bad. I hope Levi Wallace isn't hurt too bad.
I think from what I'm hearing, again, everybody's speculating about everybody, but from what I'm hearing, it's nothing major.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, besides TJ, Najee apparently is okay.
They said it sounds like he's okay.
That injury concerns me. I sort of feel like this is gonna be a week,
like a reoccurring,
definitely.
like nagging injury.
And it sucks because you know what I mean? Like if he's not at full strength, you know what I mean? And at full strength, it's I mean, he fights, you know what I'm saying? Like he's a fighter to get all those yards he got last year. With that offensive line,
with nobody blocking for him, and that's that's going to be a problem because he has to be
really no
faster.
Way.
Yeah,
Well, it's not just. I mean, he did nothing running wise. He did nothing in this game.
Right.
He had. So
the Steelers altogether didn't do anything.
I mean, that offense was
okay, but
that offense was pathetic. Yeah. Najee had 10 carries for 23 yards.
I thought Najee did as well as you could expect him to. Do you know what I mean? I didn't feel like he was the one who was missing a whole lot of opportunities or making a whole lot of mistakes. I just felt like there weren't any opportunities there given to him.
He was getting He was getting tackled immediately. Like there was no opportunities for him at all.
When they had the ball like on the 1, 2, 3 yard line of the Bengals, they couldn't even get a yard.
Right.
No.
They got zero push.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to be a problem, but my goodness. I mean, that offense almost did and should have cost them the game. And that would have been absolutely pathetic.
Mhm.
But well, that
They
game,
totally deserved it.
they definitely cost. They definitely got TJ hurt because they were so bad. It was like what, less than 2 minutes left. All the Steelers had to do was get like a first down or anything or any gains at all, and they got absolutely nothing. And they only took 2 seconds off the clock, which gave the ball to the Bengals yet again. And that's when TJ got hurt. This offense is like, it was just unbelievable. The defense would do some incredible thing, and the offense would do a 3 and out, and the Bengals would be right back on offense again.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
The whole thing though with TJ, like, I don't want to be like, it was your fault, but he did that extra and it got penalized for it. If he hadn't done that, like, he ended up tearing his pec by doing that. Like, he would have had Joe Burrow some other way, but he decided to go all monster on him. And like, that's the play.
And then even on that play, he got a penalty for illegal hands of the face or roughing or whatever.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, he was totally penalized, but it's like, yo, you can, like, I just feel like if he hadn't done that extra thing, like if he had just done it a different, like, he didn't need to tackle him like specifically like that. That's all.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But those things happen. I mean, it's in the moment. You know, you're making a
snap
decision,
definitely.
doing what you think you have to do. And he plays so hard. I mean, he just works so hard and goes so hard. Those kinds of things are going to happen. It's just, hopefully it's not torn all the way through. I saw he's getting some more opinions.
Right.
So hopefully that's the news we get, is that it's more like a month than a whole season.
Right. Right. But yeah, I mean, we knew the offense was going to be a work in progress, and well, there's only one way to go, but up. God, I mean, you know, someone said, what grade do you give Mitch Trubisky? You really can't. I mean, for one thing, he did not turn it over. There were no sacks. There was I think 1 sack, but there was no interceptions, no fumbles, anything like that. He didn't give them a short field. So that was good. And I mean, he did come through when it needed to.
Yeah,
he came through in overtime when he needed to. Do you know what I mean? But if he'd come through earlier on some level, do you know what I mean?
Right.
We wouldn't have even been there. If he'd been able to convert a first down at the end of the fourth quarter, we wouldn't have even been there.
Right.
Claypool said in a press conference today, he said, my hat's off to the Bengals because that should have been a blowout. Meaning the Steelers should have blown them out to the point where there was no return, but they didn't. And it's a little, you know, it's frustrating because it's like, we're sort of seeing, even though we're seeing more wrinkles than we saw with Ben, he's still just dinking and dunking.
Yeah.
He's not taking shots down the field at all.
It seemed like he was hesitant to run to me too. Like I expected, there was times where I had expected to see him run and he didn't. And then it made me wonder why that was. Was he nervous too? Was he kind of, was it a coaching decision for him to not run so much? You know what I mean? But there appeared to be times where he could have picked up some yards.
And there were times when he actually did have time to throw, but just, you know, when your offensive line sucks 99% of that time, that 1% where it doesn't suck, it doesn't matter because you assume it's going to suck. So you rush and run around. So, but you really do have to hand it to the Bengals that, looking back at the game, Joe Burrow had the worst game ever, 4 interceptions, but he still almost won that game. He's that good.
Yeah.
And Jamar Chase, my God, is he amazing? He should have had like 4 touchdowns. How many times did he get a touchdown, but like his toe was on the line or something like that? Or like the one we talked about where he actually did, you know, it looked like he hit the ball across the plane, but the ref didn't call it any challenge or something like that. He's amazing. He's just they
fought hard. They really did. They had a whole team. I mean, they didn't ever appear to give up or you know what I mean, any of that. They really fought hard. And I don't know what team could have beaten the defense that they played that day. I mean, our defense was just so strong and just so powerful. I mean, it's just, you know, I mean, there's always some fault on them too, but it was, you know, just such a strong defensive stand that I don't know that anybody could have beaten them that day. Offense is another story.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They just looked, I don't know. They just looked like they were limited. You know what I mean? Like they weren't doing everything they could do. You know what I mean?
It looked like two different teams.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird, not having Ben back there. That's for sure. It was
strange.
I know we had the preseason to kind of like ease ourselves into it, but it's like, man, this is like,
this is real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was weird. It was weird not having Ben over there. But yeah, Joe Burrow is, and this was the perfect time. It was a perfect time last year when the Steelers played the Bills, the game week 1,
right?
Because they weren't totally ready, and there was a perfect time to play the Bengals. But really, week 1 of the NFL season is basically like week 4 of the preseason.
Yeah.
There's so much sloppy play. All these preseason games, all this training camp, you barely play your starters because you don't want anybody to get hurt. So nobody plays together. From what I understand, the Bengals offensive line never played together in any preseason.
Yeah,
that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, even just a little bit. That was surprising.
Right. I didn't know that they made that much of a change, because it seemed like last year, I mean, they went to the Super Bowl. So last year, I mean, again, I don't really pay attention to the Bengals offensive line, but I sort of feel like they played well enough. I mean, to get them to the Super Bowl, I don't know what happened there in terms of if they had some free agent turnovers or if they just got rid of people or what happened. But
well, they quote unquote improved the line, and they did all these things to improve the line, and
so did Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so did Pittsburgh.
Right.
How'd that work out for you?
Right.
I mean, Kendrick Green wasn't even active. He didn't even dress.
Nope.
That's an improvement.
Yeah.
My goodness. Yeah.
At least he wasn't getting penalties that way.
That's your opener right there.
But one bright spot of the offense was the tight ends, Freiermuth and Zach Gentry. They balled out.
They did. They looked great.
That was beautiful to see. Even Derek Watt was in the game.
I saw him in the huddle, and I was like, "What is he doing?
Who is that guy?"
I know. And how about that catch from Deontay Johnson? That was amazing.
That was on
the sideline. That was unbelievable.
Like,
it really was. It was unbelievable. I had to watch it like 15 times.
Right. Not only the extension, but just to have that awareness, that sideline awareness.
Yeah.
He was almost like showing Jamar Chase like how to do it. You know?
Yeah.
It was very reminiscent of Antonio Brown, and it was amazing because they're like, well, is his feet inbound? Like,
right.
Actually, not only was like the second foot in bounds, but then he did something to make like the other foot, like he did another toe tap on top of that. Like,
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
amazing. That's why you pay him. So,
right.
Yeah,
I think we also have to
we're glad we have him.
Props to Jalen Warren. Like he was blocking like nothing else, man. He made some key blocks for that offense, and
he did.
That's huge. That's freaking huge.
Yeah,
from a rookie to get that kind of awareness from a rookie.
You know what I mean? Like he came from
an undrafted rookie to come out there and be blasting dudes. There was one
and
play
then came in for Najee and did fine. Well,
all right.
Okay, you know what I mean?
He actually went outside.
No worse than Najee was doing.
Right. Najee just kept going. It seemed like, he did a lot of, just going forward. And Jalen Warren actually tried to get on the outside, which I thought was commendable, because it's like, obviously we weren't getting anything up the middle. So we had to figure something different out. So.
Yeah. I feel like that hasn't worked for us for like 4 years. So I don't know why we still keep trying to do it. I'm so tired of watching that play.
But this Matt Canada offense, we saw flea flickers, we saw reverses, we saw jet sweeps and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And all that is cute, and it works in week 1 because the other teams haven't seen it. Now it's on tape. Now they know what to expect. That jet sweep ain't gonna work anymore. That won't stop them from trying it. They'll try it 100 times and get nothing for it. But you can only surprise people once.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I keep trying to tell myself.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
it's just go ahead. You can go. I forgot my thought.
Buy me a Coke.
I was just going to say that, I was trying to tell myself that, like, while, that's on tape and you can't surprise him again, I'm hoping that this is just an evolutionary process. And you know what I mean? He saw what was kind of working and then looking at which defense you're playing each week and build upon it like you should, instead of old Steelers just running the same 4 broken plays over and over again.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, we'll see. Wow.
Yeah. I was exhausted. That game ended and I was like, I felt like I had a headache. I felt like I just gotten hit by a truck. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't, I still had to work, but I couldn't function. It was barely like,
right.
I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. It was exhausting
Steelers
to watch. I can't imagine what it was like to play that game.
I can't imagine
right?
to be a player, to be on their coach on the sidelines, watching and how just crazy it was. I mean, I don't know. It was hard to watch. I told Allison I was watching from my phone in the car while I was driving home. So it was hard enough to see, and things would keep like stopping, and then I'd have to start it again, and I kept losing stuff. And then it got to where Boz missed that field goal in overtime, and I was like, that's it, we're done. And I just dropped my phone in the floorboard. And I'm never the person who quits watching. I always watch to the end. Even when we get blown out, I watch the whole game. I never leave. So I waited a couple minutes, and I was like waiting for my watch to ding to tell me that the game was over and Cincy had won. And I'm like, why isn't my watch? Why isn't this over yet? So I picked my phone back up to look, and I'm like, you have to be kidding me. I came in just as Cincy couldn't close the deal and we got the ball back. I'm like, you have to be kidding me. This can't be happening.
So well.
So Minka blocks the extra point, which he was never touched. How does this happen?
Right.
How do you not?
Unreal.
How do you not? That's just unbelievable that he goes untouched and blocks the kick. And then in overtime, the Bengals, they get the ball again and they have a 29-yard field goal. Like, come on, this is easy. Now, their long snapper got hurt, and I think that just totally messed up everything.
Threw things off.
Yeah, because on that attempt, it was the snap was very high. And he put it down and he kicks it, and it ends up in Kentucky.
Right. Yeah.
He just goes, woo.
It wasn't even close.
But the Chris Boswell, so he has like a 53-yard attempt or something like that. And it's like, okay, it's a little long or whatever. And then you hear it and it goes, that boink off the thing was the loudest thing ever. How do they do that? How do they did they put microphones on the goalpost or something like that?
Right. I wonder that. That's a good point.
How does
I don't know.
Because that was like the loudest thing I ever heard.
It was really loud.
It was really loud.
Yeah. That's a good point.
It was how I knew it hit. It was how I knew it hit the upright even before they'd signaled it. Do you know what I mean? Because you could hear the noise. Sometimes it hits and goes in, but I knew it hit.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Bengals, it was about 2 minutes left in overtime. They get the ball. They don't do much, and they get sacked right around the 50.
Yeah.
And the ball is loose, and I believe it was Perrine on the Bengals runs it for like 10 yards, basically into field goal range. But there is a rule, which I didn't know, but this is called the Holy Roller rule.
Yeah.
Inside of 2 minutes, you can't advance a fumble. You can't I
had no idea about that rule. I had no
idea. Yeah. And I was like, man, the Bengals are gonna, this is the game.
Yeah,
right.
This is it.
Right. It's like that dude just saved the game because now they're in field goal range. Like,
and when they went backwards with the ball, I'm like, what are they like? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
That was amazing. And then so the Steelers had the ball deep in their territory with a minute left in overtime. It's like, okay, you know what? I just said, fine, take the tie. I'll be happy with the tie. Just end it already.
Yeah, no one deserves to win this game.
Right.
No, we don't. Nobody deserves to win it. And there's a offside on the defense. It's a free play. And Mitch runs around and he catches Freiermuth for like 30 yards or something like that. And like, oh my God, we're almost in field goal range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing. He needs to just do more of that. I mean, not that it's easier said than done. I just mean like the offense needs to be way more aggressive if they're going to have any success this year.
Yes.
I just think hopefully this is just, very much a work in progress. And this is just, we're starting at this point. It's like, okay, this is what we have. Let's progress and hopefully get better. And I mean, for all the put in Kenny people, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
It's not the answer. He would have. It wasn't all Trubisky. It's easy to put all the blame on him, but the majority of the blame doesn't go to him. It goes to the O-line. And so what? You would have had Pickett in there just getting murdered. You know what I mean? The whole game. I mean, it's not the answer. Yeah, that's not the problem.
Yeah, you put Pickett in there. You put Mason in there. That's going to end up.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. No.
Tom Brady couldn't play well behind that O-line. I mean, it's just you have to have. They have to be able to give you some protection in time. I kind of would too.
Because he's not mobile, so you would just get
I don't. Just stand there and get crushed like Ben did.
Did you see Tom Brady? He's looking rough.
He's weird looking.
He needs to eat a little more avocado ice cream or whatever the heck he gets.
Man needs a carb. He should have retired and had some potato chips.
I don't know.
No, but now he's gonna go once he retires, he's gonna be on camera all the time. So it's
yeah. But at least maybe then he can eat a little bit.
Right.
Maybe
he looks very thin.
He's not eating because he's fighting with his wife. It's hard.
That's what the.
It's hard to eat things when you're sleeping on the couch. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. I did hear that he was fighting with her.
He's in the doghouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now coming up is the New England Patriots. Have you seen the schedule? It's next week is home to New England, which by the way, New England looks like crap.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they look awful.
It's a winnable game.
Then after that is
crappy Jets
at the Browns.
Oh, the Browns, right?
Which is I think very winnable. I don't care that they won this week. Good, you got your win out of the way, Browns. Congratulations.
Right.
Yeah.
Go back to losing.
Good for you. Yeah, go back to losing.
Yeah. Against Carolina.
Against go. Yeah, congratulations. And then home to the Jets, and the Jets are hot garbage, and they're not gonna have Zach Taylor. Zach Wilson, because he's out.
Well, they might because technically, I think that's the week he's allowed to come back, or he should come back. But
fine.
So it's up in the air.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
We'll sack him too. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then at the Bills, which is obviously a loss. So I think they're going to start 4-0.
Yeah,
I think so too.
That would be like a best case scenario with TJ, with the partially torn pec. If he had to miss some games, do you know what I mean? I'd rather it be these 4 games than later on in the season, or God forbid, if we make it to the playoffs, that it's then.
Yeah. I even said something about Watt's injury that's kind of maybe something we should. I sort of feel like he should have surgery right now, like yesterday. You know what I mean? And rehab it, and then come back in week 6 or week 7 or whatever. Because with the pec, it's sort of like the Liz Frank. He's gonna be bothered by it. I feel like it's gonna be an issue all season.
It's gonna aggravate him. Yeah.
I have a feeling if he has a surgery,
it might affect his play because of where it's at.
I have a feeling if he has a surgery, he's out for basically the year.
That's what they said. It's season. If you have to have the surgery, it's season ending.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
So rehab is your only option if you hope to play it.
You hope for a partial tear, and then you can just repair the muscle through rehab. Yep.
Yeah. Oh man.
I can't imagine how painful that is. I tore a calf muscle one time. It was probably one of the most painful injuries I'd ever had. I can't imagine. He has big pecs too. That's gotta hurt.
He does.
He's got a lot of pec stuff happening. I feel like to tear that much pec has to be extra painful.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you hurt something in your leg. Okay, that affects you walking, and that really sticks. But your pec, like you can't move your arms.
Breathing, laughing, coughing.
Yeah.
I mean, just like laying down, sitting up, you use those muscles for everything. You never realize how much you use your core muscles until you hurt something or have surgery.
Oh wow. It's just funny. So in that Cleveland game where they barely beat the Carolina, they won on I believe a 58-yard field goal from their rookie kicker.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And the Giants beat the Titans because the Tennessee's kicker missed a field goal. It's just so funny how, we're talking about the Steelers and, oh, hey, we're hopeful and maybe we'll go 4-0 and, we have problems, but yay, we won. But if all they had to do was kick that extra point and the Steelers lose that game, and it would be a completely different podcast. It would be completely different talk.
Totally different conversation.
Fire everybody. This is a disaster. How could the offense be this bad? I know that's what I would have been saying. So
yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about this podcast baby. You guys have a podcast?
We do.
We started a new podcast. It's because we had this really great chemistry together, and plus, I mean, who doesn't want to watch two girls talking about the Steelers? You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, it's called House of Yinzer, and you can find it right now. You can just find it on YouTube, and we share it on. We have a Twitter page at Steelers Yinzer that you can check it out on. So it was fun.
It was very fun.
To be fun. But you're right, Joe. You had a podcast.
I had something to do with this, and that's
you get the credit for bringing us together since you're the podcast matchmaker.
I had something to do with this podcast baby, and that's
yeah.
I'll be the godfather of the podcast.
There you go. I like that. Mm-hmm. And we'll have to have you on sometime because I mean.
Oh my God, I'd love to.
We really should. It would be great to have you on because it's like turn the tables on you.
Right.
Grill you and ask you questions.
That's right. So who runs this show? Because it's hard running one of these podcasts.
Dude, that's the thing. So I mean, we work well together. So I mean, I sort of feel like we're each other's co-hosts, but I mean, technically I pitched it to her and she was all happy and enthusiastic to do it. So I was like,
well, when there's two people, you don't really need someone running it. You just have a conversation. So
exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we have somebody helping with production. So that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
That's helpful. Yeah.
I never want to do a podcast with A, without a producer, B, without a co-host, because it just, no thanks.
Yeah.
We did that once, Allison. Remember that?
Yeah, that's the thing. And I never did it again.
After
what did you do?
You had a podcast.
I had a podcast for, I don't even know if I like put it out. I don't even
by
know.
yourself, just Allison talking.
It was me and
I think it was me too.
Yeah. I just thought it was, I wasn't impressed.
This was fun. It was our first episode, but it was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing it some more.
I know you did better than the Steelers offensive line, but it is really cool if you keep on doing it, how you progress. From episode 1 to say episode 10 and stuff like that, and how you progress and how you grow together, and it's really cool. It's always fun to see, and then you look back and you go back to that first episode. It's like, wow, man, we sucked,
right?
So
it's you have a lot of different people on your show, but even the three of us kind of have an evolution of how the three of us have gelled and worked together from when we first started last year. Do you know what I mean?
It used to be just audio.
Yeah.
It used to be
just
audio.
About
a year ago. A year ago, I started doing video. Yeah. So, okay. So
making me brush my hair and stuff.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I had to keep in my contacts and put on a bra.
I used to be able to do it in my pajamas.
It's a rough life.
Great. I don't know what to say about that. It's like, so many ways I could go, but I'm just gonna not touch it.
Yeah. Anyway,
good luck. I'm so excited for you. I like I said, just have fun with it. Good luck with everything. And you're still going to do this podcast, right?
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We just can't put 120% into it because we need to keep that certain percentage for our own
that's okay. I'm only at 30% now anyway. So
right.
There's enough Steelers talk to go
that's
around.
All you need.
All right. Guys, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
I'll see you.
See ya.